టైం అయింది కాబట్టి ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ప్రారంభించుకోవాలి కాబట్టి అందరికీ మరొకసారి ఘనంగా ఈ సింపోజియం కార్యక్రమానికి స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. మరి ఈ కార్యక్రమము పూజా కార్యక్రమంలో మొదలవుతుంది. జ్యోతిర్జన కార్యక్రమాన్ని చేయవలసిందిగా అతిథుల్ని మా డైరెక్టర్ శ్రీ హరినారాయణ సార్ గారిని, చంద్రశేఖర్ నాయుడు సార్ గారిని, తర్వాత రాజశేఖర్ రెడ్డి, తర్వాత ఇటువంటి వాళ్ళు కొంతమంది, తర్వాత కాలేజీ నుండి డాక్టర్ లావణ్య గారిని, తర్వాత ఒక గర్ల్ ఎవరైనా పాలిటెక్నిక్ నుండి ఒక గర్ల్ని వచ్చి జ్యోతి ప్రజ్వలన కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొనవలసిందిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాం. ప్లీజ్. రండి. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి అనిత కృష్ణగారి మేడం ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని నిర్వహణలో కొంచెం శ్రద్ధ తీసుకోవాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాము. సంస్థ ఫౌండర్స్ టైగర్ సమానులు స్వర్గీయ ఫాదర్ వెంకటేశ్వర గారి పూజా కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొంటున్నాం. అట్లనే ప్రేయర్ సాంగ్ పాడవలసిందిగా జీపీటీ విద్యార్థులను ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం.
Thank you. భాషక వేద స్వరూప షణ్ముఖ సోదర స్వామి దత్తాత్రేయాయ్యప్ప రూప శమటాధీశ నమామి
జీపీటీ అనంతపూర్ విద్యార్థులకు ధన్యవాదాలు ప్రార్థనా గీతం ఆలపించినందుకు. మరి ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో ముఖ్యంగా ఈ గవర్నమెంట్ పాలిటెక్నిక్ అనంతపూర్లో ఆర్టీటీ సంస్థ జీపీటీ అనంతపూర్ కొలాబరేషన్తో నిర్మించినటువంటి హాస్టల్ మరియు అకాడమిక్ బ్లాక్ నిర్మించడం అనేది ఈ 2 రోజులు ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ కింద మేము నిర్మాణం ఈ 2.5 సంవత్సరాల్లో ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ కింద వీటిని నిర్మించడం జరిగింది. మరి ఈ ప్రాజెక్టు బ్రీఫ్ రిపోర్ట్ సబ్మిట్ చేయవలసిందిగా డాక్టర్ హరినారాయణ సార్ గారిని ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం. 10:15 శ్రీమతి నాగరాణి గారు ఐఏఎస్
ಯಾರన్నారు ದೂರದೇಶ
Being good is good. Being good is good. Seeing good is good. Feeling good is good. Hearing good is good. But doing is not. Doing involves action, and that action we call it as service. Action for others is the philosophy of Father Ferrer and Sister Annie Ferrer. Action for others is the basic philosophy of walking. That is what you preach, that is what you believe, that is what you follow. That's why Father Ferrer is always Mount Orkade Devudu, Chikatini Tarivina Sujudu, Matodu Nidai Nilachimadu, Malokadai Masalinadu. Whenever we start a program, we offer our prayers to Father Ferrer and Sister and the founders of Father. Now I start. I want to start the day by offering my celebrations to the founders of our teaching, Mr. Vincent Ferrer, Father Vincent Ferrer and Sister Annie Ferrer. They are our perennial source of motivation and inspiration, and wife and driving force in transforming the lives of millions of poor and needy people and the landscape of chronic drought-prone Anantapur district. Across 4,000 villages in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Starting its journey in 1969, RDT has reached many milestones and faced many challenges by being a dynamic, creative and professional organization catering to the changing needs of people, collaborating with the government wherever possible and wherever needed. Today is a special day for all of us. We are privileged to hold the Symposium, Future of Gender Perspective Polytechnic Education in rural transformation. Amidst all of you in technical collaboration with Adult Incubation Center, SK University, and Government Polytechnic College, Calendar. We wholeheartedly welcome you all to this event for the minister. The topic, I feel, is novel, and we clapped a few elements that complement each other. As you all know, rural transformation is a process through which rural incomes grow, rural economies diversify, and linkages with urban and peri-urban areas evolve strongly. 50%, even you see here, 50% of India's population is women, and any science, technology, innovation, policies, and practices are designed with a gender perspective will not contribute to sustainable development. It is where polytechnic education could play a constructive role, and its future needs to be nurtured in that direction. I believe you all agree that many reasons are behind the low numbers of women in science. Access to and quality of education, job market opportunities, stereotypes, lack of role models, mentorship and sponsorship, workplace culture, and work-life balance. We must indicate a gender perspective with science, technology, and innovations to address socio-economic development challenges effectively. It means a gender lens to be applied while discussing the topic. I strongly hope your contribution will illuminate gender equality in science and technology and engineering education, careers and leadership, and encourage and support women's role in innovation systems at national and grassroots. Regarding this project, it was conceived in 2017 and 18 when Dr. Gpt was a principal. And it got launched in 2020 and 21, and we will be finishing it by March 2023. As you know, Keshav Chandra knew how to approach, how to convince, and how to get things done. He is a very intelligent person. To keep GPT Anantapuram on par with the JNT Anantapuram, I think his wish got fulfilled. I know what struggle he took, and then I think he did an extraordinary role in that direction. I should say, this is the first of its kind in the history of Anantapuram. Never we had a project like this. It is worth 16.5 crores. It is nearly 17 crores. We are yet to invest another 6 lakhs of rupees. It is for the first time, it is multi-sectorial. Earlier projects used to be like, capital projects, mission projects, women projects. It is multi-sectorial. This project involves number 1, habitat, 2, women empowerment, 3, education for empowerment, 3, ecology and sustainable livelihoods, Manabhumi, sports, health, hospitals, cultural, HRD, resource mobilization, and India for India program. All these sectors were involved in this program. A team here in RDT, under the guidance of Sister and Manchu Ferrer, worked in close liaison with the teams in Spain, headed by Nadia, Area, and Monica, to accomplish the desired targets without compromising in the quality. It is the first of its kind in the history of RDT. The Gpt Anantapuram and the leadership of JC Reddy. Sir, express our thanks to you. Because people got tuned, maybe they are lecturers. So under his leadership, actually he won the project, which is something very appreciable, and extended all beautiful present. That's why I always say, Mr. JC Reddy is always ready. Audit staff almost appreciated, appeared to students like as staff of our GPT, because our faces are frequently seen, especially the face of Mr. Raghavendra. I don't know where he is. Please get up. I think he did an extraordinary work. And Mr. Reddy is also very intelligent because he delegated the responsibility to Mr. Sudhakar Reddy garu. Please get up, sir. And then is always present. And then Lavanya madam, and then Mahamud Basha and many others. They fully justified their role and won our hearts. The students of GPT, especially girls, when we project start చేసిన ముందర అమ్మాయిలు చెప్పారు, మేము ఒక ఫోకస్ గ్రూప్ డిస్కషన్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఏంటి సార్ మేము 10th క్లాస్ వరకు ఆడుకొని వస్తాం పాడుకొని వస్తాం, ఇప్పుడు వస్తే ఏమీ ఉండవు, పాట పాడేకలే డాన్స్ ఆడేకలే స్పోర్ట్స్ లేవు, బాయ్స్ పిలుచుకొని పోతారు మీరు, వాళ్ళు మా లెక్చరర్స్ మమ్మల్ని పిలుచుకొని పోతారు ఎక్కడికి. దట్స్ వై ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ మీరు చూసినట్లయితే అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. గర్ల్స్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ఏదైతే అవసరమో అవన్నీ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. మనం స్పెషల్గా చెప్పుకోవాల్సింది విషయంలో ఫెరర్, ఎందుకంటే ద సెక్టర్ ప్లేడ్ ఎ వైటల్ రోల్ అండ్ షుడ్ ఆల్ కన్వే అవర్ థ్యాంక్స్ టు విషయ ఫెరర్. అందుకని మీ అమ్మాయిలందరి కోరికలన్నీ కూడా నెరవేరాయి. Then they all fully they justified the role and won our hearts. The students of GPT, especially girls, always showed interest in all the events organized and benefited beyond words. Ultimately, girls have a space, safe, spacious, beautiful dormitory, and students have a wonderful academic block, including a digital library and computer lab. Technically, the project ends, but our relationship with GPT continues then. I conclude by saying the views of one girl's father from Kannur. Then one hospital వెళ్ళాను చూద్దామని, ఒక ఫాదర్ నాకు తారసపడ్డాడు, ఒక ముస్లిం పేరెంట్. నేను షాక్ తిన్నాను. ఆయన వర్డ్స్ మీకు చెప్తాను. అవర్ డాటర్ ఈస్ సేఫ్ అండ్ హెల్దీ హియర్ ఇన్ ద న్యూ హాస్టల్ అండ్ షీ ఈస్ హ్యాపీ హియర్. వీ ఆర్ పీస్ఫుల్ అట్ హోమ్. RDT, like parent, sense the needs of girls and focus on many aspects that ensure girls shine and outshine boys. We will always be so pleased to see our daughter dancing so beautifully. Mamuga restrictions ఉంటాయేమో నాకు తెలియదు, అమ్మాయి beautiful గా డాన్స్ చేస్తుంది. I forgot to tell you that my expenditure towards my daughter's staying in Anantapur has been reduced by 1,500 per month. So I చెప్తున్నాడు, సార్ పుణ్య కట్టుకున్నారు సార్, నాకు నెలకు నాకు 1,500 రూపాయలు డబ్బులు వెళ్తుంది. నాకు మా అనంతపూర్లో ప్రైవేట్ హాస్టల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు దాదాపుగా 1,500 రూపాయలు ఎక్కువ అయ్యింది, మీరు నాకు తగ్గించారు, థ్యాంక్ యూ అని చెప్పారు. Girls have aspirations in their life, or girls have their aspirations for their life and career, and the parents should feel it with their hearts without discriminating against them, but encouraging them to realize their dreams. I want to thank RDT, donors, and the colleagues for such huge infrastructure which makes students and parents feel great about RDT and GPT. In this, I just close by expressing my thanks to all the funding agencies that extended huge funding to RDT for 16.5 crores. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Murali.
Thank you, sir. ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో పాల్గొన్నటువంటి అందరికీ కూడా కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేసినట్టు హరి సార్ గారికి, అన్నాయన సార్ గారికి గట్టిగా చెప్పడంతో ఒకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తాం. మరి దీని తర్వాత శ్రీమతి సి నాగరాజు గారు, కేశవచంద్ర సార్ 2 మాటలు, ఒక 10 minutes 5 minutes టైం ఉంది ఎంతో మధ్యలోని. డాక్టర్ కేశవచంద్ర చంద్ర సార్ ఎక్స్ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ మాట్లాడవలసిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం.
సభకు నమస్కారం. ఈరోజు నిజంగా నా కళ సాకారమైంది. నిజంగా కూడా నేను ధన్యజీవిని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే ఆ కాలేజీలో చదువుకొని ఆ కాలేజీలోనే ఉద్యోగం చేస్తూ ఆ కాలేజీలోనే ప్రధానోపాధ్యాయుడిగా రిటైర్ అవ్వడం అనేది నిజంగా నా పూర్వజన్మ సుకృతం. నేనైతే అనుకుంటున్నాను ఏదో కొంత 1% ఆ విద్యా సంస్థకు రుణం తీర్చుకుంటాను అనుకుంటున్నా. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఈరోజు ఇలా నిలబడ్డానంటే ఆ సంస్థే కారణం. ఆ సంస్థకు మేము ఏం చేసినా కూడా నా ఊపిరి ఉన్నంత వరకు కూడా ఆ సంస్థకు చేసేదానికి అవకాశం భగవంతుడు ఇచ్చాడు. దాన్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకోవాల్సిన బాధ్యత కూడా నా మీదే ఉంది. తర్వాత ముఖ్యంగా మేమైతే కళలో కూడా అనుకోలేదు ఇంత పెద్ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ అవుతుందని కానీ ఇలా అవుతుందని కానీ. ముఖ్యంగా ఇక్కడ చెప్పాల్సిన ఒకటే విషయం, నేను 2017 సంవత్సరంలో అనంతపూర్ పాలిటెక్నిక్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ మీద వచ్చాను. వచ్చేటప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు ఇలాంటి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదు నాకు. ఉన్న 1 సంవత్సరం ఉంది నేను రిటైర్మెంట్ అయ్యేదానికి. ఇప్పుడు ఉంటే అక్కడ కళ్యాణంలో ఉంటే ఇంకా కొంచెం ఏదైనా కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ చేయొచ్చు ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్కి. ఇక్కడ పెద్ద ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ పై నేనేం చేయగలను 1 yearలో అని అనుకున్నాను. కానీ భగవంతుడు అన్న ఈ మిషన్ కోసం మేము పంపించినట్టున్నాడు. ఇక్కడ రావడం జరిగింది. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొనడం ముఖ్యంగా ప్రప్రథమంగా నేను అప్రోచ్ అయిన వ్యక్తి చంద్రశేఖర్ నాయుడు గారు. అప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ డైరెక్టర్ గారు ఆయన అప్రోచ్ అవ్వడం అయింది. ముఖ్యంగా ఎందుకు అప్రోచ్ అయ్యానంటే, కాలేజీకి వచ్చాను, 2 షిఫ్ట్లు నడుస్తున్నాయి, మార్నింగ్ షిఫ్ట్ 2 షిఫ్ట్లు నడుస్తున్నాయి, క్లాస్ రూమ్లు లేవు, పిల్లలు ఎప్పుడు వస్తున్నారో ఎప్పుడు పోతున్నారో తెలియదు, స్టాఫ్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తున్నారో ఎప్పుడు పోతున్నారో తెలియదు. అలాంటి దౌర్భాగ్యమైన పరిస్థితులు ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎలా చేయాలి అనుకుంటుంటే నాకు ముఖ్యంగా ఆల్రెడీ కళ్యాణదుర్గంలో ఉన్నప్పుడు నాకు ఈ ఆర్టీటీ సంస్థ ద్వారా కొంత సహాయం అందింది. వాళ్ళని అప్రోచ్ అవ్వడం కూడా అయింది. కాకపోతే ఆ మీద కాన్ఫిడెన్స్తో ఒకసారి ఆర్టీటీని అడుగుదాము, కనీసం ఒక 5-10 క్లాస్ రూమ్లు వస్తే చాలు, ఈ ప్రాబ్లం నుండి సాల్వ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అనుకుని వచ్చాము. అడిగాను, సరే క్లాస్ రూమ్స్ అయితే ఇస్తామని చెప్పారు. సో అప్పుడు 2-3 సార్లు విజిట్ చేశాను. ఆ క్లాస్ రూమ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అట్లా వెళ్ళిపోయి అమ్మాయిలు హాస్టల్లో ఒకసారి సిస్టర్ గారిని పిలిపించాం, కాలేజీకి వచ్చారు. వారి బాగా ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఆమె ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళరట. మా అదృష్టమేమో, మా పాలిటెక్నిక్ అదృష్టం అయిండొచ్చు, మా పిల్లలు అదృష్టం అయిండొచ్చు, ఆమె రావడం అక్కడ జరిగింది. ఆ కార్యక్రమంలో నిజంగా మేమెంతో ధన్యవాదాలు చెప్పాలి. ఆ కార్యక్రమం అయిన తర్వాత ఈ హాస్టల్ డాక్యుమెంట్గా అడిగాం. ముందు అకాడమిక్ బ్లాక్ కవర్ని డాక్యుమెంట్ల గురించి ఆలోచిస్తామని చెప్పారు. అనుకోకుండా ఆ దేవుడి సంకల్పంతో కూడా ముఖ్యంగా ఫాదర్ విన్సెంట్ భగత్ వారి సహకారం కూడా ఎంతో, వారి ఆశీస్సులు ఉంటాయి ముఖ్యంగా అలాంటి కార్యక్రమాలు పాల్గొనడానికి. సో ఇలా జరిగింది ఈ ప్రాజెక్టు. మరొక ముఖ్యమైన వ్యక్తి మనం ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాల్సింది, ఇంతకుముందు మీరు చూశారు డాక్టర్ హరి గారు. ఈ ప్రాజెక్టు రావడానికి 100కి 100 ఆయన సహకారం ఎంతో ఉంది. అలాగే మేము అనుకుంటుంటాం మాకు చాలా కమిట్మెంట్ ఉంది, 100% మేము కమిట్మెంట్తో పనిచేస్తున్నాం అనుకుంటున్నాం. డాక్టర్ హరి గారిని చూసిన తర్వాత ఆయనకున్న కమిట్మెంట్లో మాకున్న కమిట్మెంట్ 2% మాత్రమే. 98% ఎక్స్ట్రా ఉంటుంది ఆయనకి. ఆయన కమిట్మెంట్ అంత కమిట్మెంట్గా ఉంటుంది ఏ వర్క్ చేసినా కూడా. ఇలాంటి ముఖ్యంగా మనము ఆయనకు మా సంస్థ తరఫున, పాలిటెక్నిక్ తరఫున ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతున్నాం. సో ఇలాంటి ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ముందుకు వెళ్ళాలని. అయితే ఇక్కడ ముఖ్యంగా చెప్పదలుచుకున్నది ఏంటంటే, మనమైతే ఏ సంస్థ ద్వారా మనం పొందామో, ఈ బెనిఫిట్ పొందామో, అలాంటి సంస్థకి మనం కూడా ఏమన్నా చేయాలి. మనం అంటే సంస్థకి ఏం చేయాల్సిన అక్కర్లేదు. ఈరోజు మనం సహాయం తీసుకుంటున్నాము, ఈ సహాయం ముందు జనరేషన్ కూడా మనం ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే మీరు బాగా వృద్ధిలోకి వచ్చి మీరు కూడా సహాయం చేయాలి. సహాయం చేస్తూ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఎప్పుడు కూడా మర్చిపోకూడదు. మీరు ఏ కాలేజీలో చదువుకున్నారో ఆ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ మర్చిపోకుండా చూడాలి. మరొకసారి ఆర్టీటీ సంస్థకు, డోనర్లందరికీ కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుకుంటూ, ముందు మేము ఇప్పుడు మీ సహాయ సహకారాల కోసం ఇప్పుడు ఉంటాం. మా అవసరం ఎప్పుడైనా వచ్చినా కూడా నిర్బంధంగా మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా మమ్మల్ని అడగండి, ఫోన్ చేస్తే మేము రాగలనుకుంటాం. మరొకసారి మీ అందరికీ కూడా ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొన్నందుకు కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతూ థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. డాక్టర్ కేశవ్ చంద్ర సార్, మీరు ఈ ప్రాజెక్టులో భాగస్వాములైనందుకు. మరి ఈ సింపోజియం కార్యక్రమంలో శ్రీమతి సి నాగరాణి గారు ఐఏఎస్ చైర్పర్సన్, కమిషనర్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ వారు పాల్గొంటున్నారు. వారు రాగానే వారికి స్వాగతం తెలియజేస్తాము. స్వాగతం తెలియజేసిన తర్వాత ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని జీపీటీ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ గారు శ్రీ జయచంద్ర రెడ్డి సార్ గారు ఆమె స్పీచ్ తర్వాత ఆమె కార్యక్రమాన్ని నిర్వహించవలసిందిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాను. హలో, సౌండ్ వస్తుంది.
అటెండ్ చేయలేదు.
మంజు ఇంకో మైక్ పని చేయడం లేదు. మంజు
Hello. Hello. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm ready, sir. Very ready.
మంజు ఈ లైట్ ఆఫ్ చేయమని.
కాల్ చేసి చెప్తాను. వాళ్ళ మొబైల్ అన్నా వెబ్ క్యామ్లో జీపీటీ ATP సెర్చ్ చేయండి. జీపీటీ ATP అదే లైవ్ వస్తుంది. అదే అదే అదే
Hello, sir. Audible? Sir, am I audible? Sir, am I audible?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Done, sir. Thank you.
So, good morning, madam. Good morning.
Sir. Sir. Okay, sir. Sir. So, now I request the Honorable Madam Director, Department of Physical Education, to address the symposium of today. I heartily welcome Madam Garu on behalf of RTT and Atal Incubation Center and the principals of Anantapur District Polytechnics. Please address the room. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning all the participants.
Madam, good morning, madam.
I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, madam, audible, madam.
Yes, madam.
First of all, I must thank directors of RDT for the initiating this kind of wonderful program, which is very much essential not only for the rural areas, it is essential for the entire society. The role of girls, women in developing society cannot be ignored, and it's a phenomenal. If you see, women have entering into every sector of industry, workplace. They are not behind anyone. They are proving themselves. So when it comes to polytechnics, the enrollment is not very encouraging. Girl child enrollment is not very encouraging. When it comes to the overall enrollment, this year it is only 3,262 girls have enrolled in all the polytechnics, which comes government and private polytechnics. The enrollment in government polytechnics is very better than compared to private polytechnics, and the private polytechnic enrollment is overall less than government enrollment. One important thing for the improved enrollment is providing him a safe environment in the college, giving them confidence, not only giving to the student confidence. The parents who are coming to the college along with the students join them, we should make them feel comfortable. We should give them the feel that they are safe here, they will get good education, they have a good future. If we give them good confidence, definitely more and more girls will come and join the polytechnics. Even providing hostel facility is one of the important reason I think, whether it is exclude from public or co-education polytechnics, when there are good hostel facilities with good girls issues redressal system is placed at the college and hostel level, we can improve the enrollment. Definitely, we need to focus on this aspect, improvement of girl child and providing facilities and giving them a safe environment in the college. Not only when they are studying in the college, while coming to the college and meeting in the while when they are this process also to that kind of safe environment need to be provided. That government is taking few steps for the safety of the women and girls in the society. Government of India is implementing several programs for the upliftment of the girl. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and 14 other programs are being implemented at Government of India level. So I request the participants of this program, we have a good debate or a good dialogue on this subject and come up with very good points which would help the department and the staff members to make a note of these things, points, and will help, eventually will help the students to participate in the education and in turn improving the society, rural or urban, they play a vital role in development of the society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Am I audible, madam?
Abdul Sammy.
Am I audible, madam? Hello. Am I audible, madam? Elect number. Hello. Hello.
Am I audible, madam? Hello. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, madam, for we would like to start the workshop panel shortly. Before that, I would like to introduce our today's participants, some of the directors.
My name is K. Nagakrishna Raju. I am a professor of instrumentation in Sri Krishna University, heading the Center for Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and also the Atal Information Center, supported by the Government of India. Thank you very much.
Lakshmi. audio problem.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Sir, ఇప్పుడు వర్కింగ్ సార్ వినిపిస్తుందా పోనీ ఓకే ఓకే ఇంటి దగ్గర అదే సార్ మేడం ప్రొసీడింగ్ సార్ హలో మీతో ప్రోగ్రామ్ మేము కంటిన్యూ అవుతాం సార్
Basically, okay. Proceed on.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్
Okay. All the best.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్
ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ఉద్దేశించి సి నాగరాణి గారు ఐఏఎస్ వాళ్ళు మెసేజ్ ఇచ్చిన కమిషనర్ చైర్పర్సన్ టెక్నికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ వారు ఏపీ టెక్నికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ వారు వాళ్ళ యొక్క మెసేజ్ ఇచ్చినందుకు వాళ్ళకి మనందరి తరఫున మనందరూ కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తాం. మరి ఈరోజు కార్యక్రమాన్ని అటల్ ఇంక్యుబేషన్ సెంటర్ నుండి స్కిల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ డైరెక్టర్ గారు శ్రీ ప్రొఫెసర్ నాగభూషణ్ రావు సార్ గారు నిర్వహించవలసిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected directors of the great institution of this region, Rural Development Trust, learned faculty of the Government Polytechnic Anantapur, and from past principals of Government Polytechnic and Department of Technical Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh, students of different polytechnics, other invitees, ladies and gentlemen, press and media, and my colleagues from Atal Incubation Center. Very good morning, everyone. At the outset, I am also thrilled to be part of this event because when Dr. Harinarayan Garu was recalling the service, God's work to the community, and Dr. Sharat Chandra Garu recollecting about the Father Feather, I am also part of the activity, the day when started on April 21st, 2006, when a contingent of Sri Krishna Deva Raya University led by our then Vice Chancellor Professor Ramarao Atota met Father Ferrer and Sister Anne Ferrer, because the then Sri Krishna Deva Raya University got permission from the government of Andhra Pradesh to start an engineering college on a self-finance basis. First ever in the country, Sri Krishna Deva Raya University has started an engineering college on self-finance mode. So it took really 9 months for us to convince the government of Andhra Pradesh for a public institution to start a private engineering college on its campus. So once we got the permission, we did not know what to do because where from the resources? Government says we do not give everything and you do whatever you want because you got the permission on a self-finance fund. The first idea we got was to approach the Father Fellow. So we took his appointment on April 20. I still remember the date because that's a godly, heavenly date. April 21st, 2006, when we met in the Central Hall in his conference room. Because I was singularly fortunate to propose the entire model to the government of Andhra Pradesh, got approval. Then I was also responsible for proposing the same thing to Father Ferrer. And once I took nearly 10 minutes explaining him what is the motive behind starting an engineering college to serve the rural poor. Because why a private institution, private management to start an institution? Why not a public institution on a self-finance model? So when I explained him the logistics, what is our approach, why we wanted this particular technical education, center of technical education in the Sri Krishnadevaraya University, he coolly replied, just 2 sentences. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I thank you for having reposed your confidence on RDT, and we are there to support your cause. And he promised, you select one good building, RDT will construct for you, whatever may be the cost of the building. In those days, it was estimated at 2 crores in 2006, and it went on to become 3.5 crores. By the time the building completed, and we named it as Father Vincent Father Ferrer Building. And even now, we have a big portrait of Father Ferrer in the college as soon as we entered that building. And that, not only that, that gave us a lot of confidence to the entire university administration. Then we approached other people, Mr. Kaleshwar Swami, Satya Sai Trust, and industries, all other things. And we could build the infrastructure purely based on the philanthropic gesture from these kind of organizations. So even now, and that resulted in convincing our university administration, the executive council, government of Andhra Pradesh, in giving the honorary doctorate, honoris causa doctorate to Vincent Father Ferrer in the year 2006 by Sri Krishnadevaraya University. With this, university still feels that we are honored to felicitate a person who is doing godly work to this region. Because helping around 3,000 villages, sir, or 7,000 villages? 4,000 villages through philanthropic activity is no less an activity than a God's work. So that way, Sri Krishnadevaraya University distinguished itself in facilitating, in awarding honorary doctorate to Vincent Father Ferrer. So with that, again, this is another, because of this, I could have some access to Mr. Chandrasekhar Naidu Garu in those days, because of our access to him led to the access to the RDT and ultimately culminated in getting such a. So from that day onwards, we never looked forward in establishing an engineering college and a self-financement. This became the basis. Now, literally, we have all the universities in the state starting engineering college on a self-finance firm. And that year itself, K.C. Reddy Garu, he immediately asked Padmavati universities to start. We have given memo, Sri Krishnadevaraya University, Kichamandi, why not all other universities start? But remember, government of Andhra Pradesh took 6 months questioning us, inquiring us, justifying our cause to give us an engineering college and a self-finance model. And now that is the first trendsetter, what with the help of RDT Institute. Anyway, so with that motive, we always had a soft corner towards Rural Development Trust. Then in the year 2012 again, RDT was conducting School of Foreign Languages diploma courses in Spanish, French, German and Portuguese. Then in the year 2015, I approached because we wanted to give back to RDT on behalf of the university. I approached the School of Foreign Languages at the time. The director again was Chandrasekhar Nair Garu. Then we proposed him that you run the course and Sri Krishna Deva Raya University will give a certificate to that 1 year postgraduate diploma in German, French, Spanish and Portuguese. And I was successful in convincing our university administration, because it is not all that easy to convince again a university administration in a giving, because offering a course, they have a set of rules. You have to be an affiliating college, there are affiliating procedures and all these things. Thanks to our then Vice Chancellor Professor Rajgopal Garu, and when we went with a proposal, he immediately accepted and constituted a committee led by the rector of the university, me as the director from Center for Skill Development, and the Dean of Foreign Languages, Dean of Languages from Sri Krishna Deva Raya University, and 3 members from RDT, Director Education, School Principal, School of Foreign Languages, and the coordinator, the then Antonio, who was the. So the 6-member team was formed to effectively coordinate the successful functioning of this program, which has been doing so wonderfully for all these years, in spite of the setting in of the pandemic. And again, thanks to the efforts of the RDT School of Foreign Languages. And 90% of the students in those foreign languages are being placed successfully in different industries. And with the contribution from Sri Krishna Deva Raya University, the placement percentage has gone up by 30%. And with the reason they are getting international placements also. So that is where we believe the interface, synergy of different organizations functioning in the organization. I really appreciate the efforts of Dr. Sharat Chandra Garu, Keshav Chandra Garu, I'm sorry sir, Keshav Chandra Garu, and the RDT functionaries in those days, because that is exactly what the society needs, and that is exactly what the country also needs. Now with this background, with this preamble, I really appreciate the management of Government Polytechnic, led by its most proactive faculty and the principal of the colleges, Government Polytechnics, and the Rural Development Trust for selecting such a wonderful topic for this future of gender perspective, polytechnic education in rural transformation. Because I always believe, because now the transformation has already taken, we did not talk about gender perspective, because in almost all the colleges, in fact, last 2 weeks back, I was talking to our Vice Chancellor, Professor M.R.K. Reddy Garu, because we had some problem, we have 4 hostels for girls and 7 hostels for boys. Now, if you take the total strength, the girls' strength is slightly more than the boys. So that is the gender transformation that has taken place over the years. Now we have only 5 to 6 girl students are placed in each room in the girls, whereas boys hostels only 2 to 3, because we have 7 hostels. Those were the days where we had 70% boys administration and 30% girls, because of 30% reservation from Government of Andhra Pradesh. Now it has exceeded all that, thanks to the initiatives of government programs, several programs. Now we have almost reached, now it is increasing. Now I think the days will come. I was suggesting our Vice Chancellor, sir, why not we shift the girls' hostel to boys' hostel, swap the boys' hostels to girls' side and girls' side to boys, because the girl students have to travel more than 1.5 kilometers all the way from engineering college to the girls' hostel during the summer for their lunch break. Whereas the boys' hostels are just next to the colleges. Boys can always travel, but the girls in that summer thing, that is the problem which is big. So anyway, so with this thing, the gender perspective technical education for rural transformation, when it comes to the subject, because as Mahatma Gandhi said, and many others, if we transform one woman, we are transforming the entire family. And if we are transforming the families, we are transforming the entire society. Because what is required in present day rural environment is, we all should be talking about the reverse migration. Because all these years, because of the IT revolution, because India is always considered as the leader. And if you see the number of CEOs that we have in all global companies, majority of them are from India. If you take any single country per se, so most of the CEOs of global companies are led from Indian origin. So that gave us impetus how IT, and you can imagine how many families have sent their children abroad for the last 20 years, starting from 1990, almost 30 years. And it peaked in 2000 when Y2K issue came, and literally every graduate who was typing ASDF semicolon LKJ on a keyboard were literally given an employment by IBM. And that's when the employment peaked, and that really was the breakthrough, right, for this gender parity. Because even if you see any IT company you name, except product companies, most of the service-based companies, we call it as TCS, Infosys, IBM, Wipro, Cognizant, all these, majority of the employees are women employees. And they have more managers, women managers. They have more women team leads. Because women are, by their genes, they have the entrepreneurship in their genes. They know how to manage a family. They know how to manage an entity. They know how to manage an organization. But the only thing is, all these years, we have not been giving their rights to manage an entity, to manage the organizations. But by virtue of their family background, by virtue of and we all know how many of the family's finances are managed by women. Almost more than, please.
Please kindly excuse me, I am leaving the campus. I had an emergency. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, this kind of woman perspective for technical education, because when it is, even unfortunately, let me say this because we are all technical people, future will be led by the artificial intelligence, right? And artificial intelligence is dominated by machine learning and data analytics, right? And this machine learning and data analytics requires civil engineers and mechanical engineers and electrical engineers. Unfortunately, it is dominated by the computer science graduates, the computer science discipline, the computer science faculties, because I have faculty and students from all the technical disciplines. Mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and civil engineers learn more of management principles than ECE and CS, right? And the understanding of artificial intelligence, because it can be an operation of a robot, operation of a machine, operation of a body, or operation of an agricultural farm. Anything can be better visualized, better understood, better analyzed, better appreciated by electrical, civil, and mechanical engineers. So I am of the perspective that artificial intelligence should be taught to more of electrical, mechanical, and civil engineers, along with ECE and computer science graduates. Because computer science and artificial intelligence is one platform which can be better understood by all the streams of engineering. So this is where we are getting nowadays the transformational engineering. That is the latest field in technical education. And transformational engineering is the discipline which we will be facing in the years ahead. And this doesn't require any gender parity for this. Because this is where we get interdisciplinary thing. Mechanical engineers studying computer science graduates studying mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, and all these things. This is exactly what is going to come in the years ahead. Transformational engineering, which is a blend of all the branches of engineering tailored to a particular application, whether it is agriculture, whether it is robotics, or whether it is automation, or any other thing. For this, when we are focusing to this rural transformation when can happen only when we have technology adoption, technology adopted resources in the rural areas, right? So rural education or rural transformation can happen only when, because male employees are bound to move out of the rural areas, but only the rural female, because every village is bound to have 50% of rural population by virtue of their family obligations. Now it is that area where we have to consider government polytechnics, rural development trust, and the Sri Krishnadevaraya University. We at Sri Krishnadevaraya University, let me give a very brief introduction to Atal Incubation Center, what we are, what we have been doing before I propose a synergy between all these three organizations. In 2016, Government of India wanted to bring up this innovation index in the country, considering we were somewhere around 150 in those days when it comes to innovation index all around the world. And now 2020, India is standing at 47 in terms of innovation index. It is because the Government of India has converted the Planning Commission into Niti Aayog. They call it as National Institution for Transforming India, Niti Aayog, the erstwhile Planning Commission, for which Prime Minister is the chairman. And they have different verticals comprising the entire spectrum of the verticals of Indian society. So they set up the Atal Innovation Mission to bring up this innovation index in the country. And they wanted to set up 10,000 schools with Atal Tinkering Labs in the name of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and 101 Atal Incubation Centers all over the country, and 25 Atal Community Innovation Centers all over the country. And they will be conducting Atal Innovation Challenges all over the country to bring up this innovation index. Now, Government of India has succeeded in getting in sanctioning 10,000 schools with Atal Tinkering Labs. Each school was given 20 lakhs. 10 lakhs as a non-recurring expenditure and 2 lakhs each every year for the next 5 years as a recurring expenditure. Basically to bring up this ideation methodology to the students at the school level. Then they have set up 68 Atal Incubation Centers so far for the last 5 to 6 years. When they started this in the year 2016, they could set up only 13 Atal Incubation Centers all over the country from among 3,600 applicants that received for setting up this center. So in those 13, Sri Krishnadevaraya University was the only state-funded university in the entire country to get an Atal Incubation Center for that, for which Government of India will give 5.5 crores over a period of 5 to 6 years, and we have to generate 4.5 crores through state government, university, NGOs, industry, our own revenue models, all these things. And that was the proposal submitted to Niti Aayog, Government of India. Now there are 68 Atal Incubation Centers all over the country, only 2 in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We have MedTech Zone in Andhra Pradesh, AP MedTech Zone in Andhra Vizag, and Sri Krishnadevaraya University in Anantapur. And we have few in Telangana, IIIT, Hyderabad, and Ali, and CCMB. We have few in Anna University and NIFT Tirupur in Tamil Nadu. We have few in Bangalore. We have few in Kerala. Like this, if you take all the entire thing, very few incubation centers or innovation centers set up by the government of Andhra Pradesh. Now the challenge here is The role of Atal Incubation Center at Sri Krishnadevaraya University is, it is a Section 8 company. It is a special purpose vehicle promoted by Sri Krishnadevaraya University. Again, when we got this Atal Incubation Center in 2017, Niti Aayog mandated that you should do this as a private entity, private company. So when we approached the Registrar of Companies, MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, they said, how a public funded university can start a private company? Again, we were the first university to start a private university, convinced the Ministry of Commerce and Industry with the help of Niti Aayog, setting up a private company in the name of AIC SKU Confederation. That is the private company promoted by Sri Krishnadevaraya University, primarily supported by Niti Aayog and then powered by AP Innovation Society, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Arja Steels, and then HDFC Corporate Social Responsibility Scheme, and then Startup India Seed Fund Scheme again from the Government of India. So that is how we have been evolving. Now, AIC SKU feels that we have an obligation to bring out the synergy from the NGOs, from government institutes, in order to bring up this rural transformation. So Atal Incubation Center concentrate mainly on 3 verticals: agriculture and food processing, renewable energy sources, and then rural technologies. We call it as reverse migration for sustainable development using the ICT, information and communication technologies, and for which woman empowerment is the main platform that we have chosen to bring out the reverse migration. Reverse migration in the sense, bring back the urban talent to the rural people so that the rural transformation can take place. And we have more than 700 districts and more than 6 lakh villages in the country. How we are able to transform them, how we empower them, that is exactly what the country needs. Now here again, there is a model, there is a logic. Instead of setting up a big, huge 10,000 crore turnover company giving employment to 10,000 people, if we can bring up 10,000 entrepreneurs, which each entrepreneur employing 10 people or 100 people, will be making lakhs of employment. And that is exactly what the country needs. More of employment, more of rural employment. And rural employment can happen only when empower the rural woman in more of enterprise development than giving the conventional education. Whatever the conventional education that we are giving, how they can employ, how they can use their own resources in bringing up this employability in the rural area, in their village, and for which also we have come up with we have tied up with Advent Global Technologies, one company, which has started a rural BPO. You know, BPO stands for Business Process Outsourcing. Every village, if you can have rural women starting their own BPOs in the rural areas. BPO in the sense, any business processing organization. Any business for that matter. It can be a mushroom cultivation, it can be a vegetable vendors, right? Or it can be an natural agricultural farming, or it can be a millet processing, anything which is meeting the community resources, community requirements, and at the same time having a business model. And all that we need to teach the rural woman, a rural graduate woman, a rural diploma woman is that enterprise development, the niche areas of entrepreneurship. If we can really, that is what is missing in our education for all these years. And that is where Atal Incubation Center has decided. We have been partnering with 20 higher education institutions in AP and Telangana, with few universities and engineering colleges and degree colleges and schools, where we partner with them and empower the minds of the students, because all that is required nowadays is create that
creativity among the students. As we all know, students by birth, they are highly creative. Over the years, sorry to say this, parents and teachers successfully kill the inquisitiveness among the students over the years. By the time they come to diploma, graduation and post-graduation, literally the creativity of the students is literally killed. They become a robust of learning, by hearting the subject and writing in the examination. Literally, they are not opening their minds at all. That is the reason why I request all of you to visit our Adult Incubation Center, Sri Krishnadevara University. We have created an open platform. We call it as an idea square, right? Where the students come regularly, sit on a platform, open air, exchange their views, give their views open-heartedly. Because as long as they're in the classroom, they are closing their minds, right? And we teachers, we do not believe that students are really making fools of us. They will be nodding their heads, but nothing goes through their brains. I tell most of the students, the brain is their hardware, mind is their software. And unless software is nothing but the ability to think, the more you think, the more you are working the mind. How many of us really bringing the mind exercises to the students? And when we studied engineering in 83-87, when I studied in 83-87, if I have to solve my question paper, there will only 8 problems and 5 problems have to be solved. And for solving those problems, I have to search each topic. I have to search for 5 textbooks. Only then I am able to solve the problems in one particular topic. Now, where is the trend? The trend is not there. So, if you solve one problem, you are clearly understanding the idea. So, engineering and technical education is nothing but application. Science is basically knowledge. Engineering is application. Technology is how skillfully we apply the science to a real-time world. That is engineering. That is technology. So, I normally tell most of the platforms, every technical textbook each chapter in technical textbook is divided into 3 parts: science, engineering, and technology. If you recall, all the students and faculty, if you recall, every chapter we have the concepts, phenomena, hypothesis, principles, tables in the beginning of each chapter. Then the author gives the worked out examples of how to apply the real-time situation. But let us question ourselves to our conscience, both students to our faculty. Sorry to say this. How many of you? So are you really calling yourself a technical student without solving those problems at the end of each chapter? Let us question ourselves. The moment we start solving those problems at the end of each chapter, we are developing the creativity. We are developing the application orientation. And that is exactly what we can happen. The rural transformation can happen only when the students start applying their knowledge to the real-time situation. Right? Unless and until we make the students think on their own industries. To Sri Krishnadevara University in summer, for 5 years I ran that particular program. I had to close it for a different purpose. That was my first startup. I'm talking about intrapreneur. Being in the organization, what you can do to the organization. Then I was part of the Adi Foundation, which we started, Anantapur Development Initiative, using the alumni of the university. Now it's a wonderful facility in the organization, in the university. For the last 15 years, we have helped 5,000 students get their employment through the Adi Foundation. My third startup was Department of Electronics, which I brought it to a certain level, getting 100% placement for the students by synergizing the industry in the year 2010. My fourth startup was SKU College of Engineering and Technology, which I was the promoter basically on behalf of our university, and getting funding, approvals from government, all these things. And now it is self-sustainable on its own, and it can run. It is even now, if you see, it is one of the few colleges where classes run regularly, both for MTech and BTech. That is the reason why we have less strength in BTech courses, because classes run regularly at the PG level. Then my fifth startup was Center for Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Incubation. And thanks to, it's a heavenly force which prompted when I proposed to Niti Aayog, our university got 5.5 crore funding from Niti Aayog for this, and now it has become self-sustainable. Now we have been doing wonders for the last 5 to 6 years. This was praised by, when we went along with my Vice Chancellor to Niti Aayog, Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant those days, he asked me, Professor Raju, where is Sri Krishnadevaraya University? The entire committee supported you for giving this Atal Incubation Center. In the year 2022, December 14th, Minister of State for Planning announced in Lok Sabha Parliament that Atal Incubation Center, Sri Krishnadevaraya University, is doing pioneering activities in incubation activities. So, I made the Central Union Minister to announce where is Sri Krishnadevaraya University in Anantapur. That is the contribution of Sri Krishnadevaraya Atal Incubation Center at Sri Krishnadevaraya University. Anyway, before wasting much time, I thank the, we have more to do in the day. I thank the both Government Polytechnic and the Rural Development Trust for giving us the responsibility of coordinating this particular symposium, how to organize and how we bring out the outcomes from out of this proceedings of this program. So we have basically divided, I think we can make 4 teams. Each team will be giving you the sheets like this. We'll be giving you the drawing sheets and we'll be giving you some of the slips to each team. And each team, what is expected is bring out the points from out of the discussion of the team, what we will be doing. As we know, the topic is gender perspective, polytechnic education and rural transformation. The best outcome that we can get is from the stakeholders. And the stakeholders for this particular topic are students, faculty, alumni, society, and from our Atal Incubation Center. So we will be basically coordinating all the activity, but the basic idea should come from the stakeholders, that are students, faculty, alumni, and others. What we require here is some inputs and insights from you in each group. You can always say entire diploma education, skills, linkages, information, and knowledge that is required in diploma education. Do you get my point? So first point for us to ponder in our group discussion is to enter diploma education and to pursue the course, and then when we exit the course, there are 3 factors that we identified. When we enter, what are the skills required? Right? When we are pursuing, what are the skills required? When we exit, what are the skills required? So at each stage, when we enter diploma education, skills, linkages, information, and knowledge. So that we have to list out when we enter the technical education. Then during the course of pursuing the technical education, what are the skills, expertise, facilities, connections, industrial tools, all these things, etc. you can discuss. Anyway, we will give you, each one of you will be given this. So I am just giving you the orientation for this. And then third one is when we exit to prosper, because every one of us are expected to, because there are always best in the worst of us and worst in the best of us. So none of us are bad and none of us are good. So every one of us are good. So when we exit to prosper, what do we expect? In terms of job, in terms of higher education, in terms of entrepreneurship, or in terms of leading your own family in your own way, right? So these are all the 3 verticals which we have identified for today's symposium. So we'll be each team, we will organize the team into 4 sectors here, and each team will be given this particular thing. You will be given a drawing sheet, big drawing sheet, and along with small slips, right? So we call it as a stickers. What you can do is individually you write in your own opinion, and then you discuss and then stick it onto your drawing sheet. Get the point? So slightly non-conventional, and we have to do it that way only. Okay, so everyone, yes sir, any point? Yeah, that's all. So this is what is required. So if still there are any queries, me along with my team will be there to the thing. If you have any queries, we can always take them. Right? Now I request I introduce my team, Dr. Chandramouli. He is the incubation manager at Atal Incubation Center at Sri Krishnadevara University. Ms. Shaheen, she is an entrepreneur having 2 startups and mentors and coordinates the activities on behalf of Sri Krishnadevara University Atal Incubation Center. So we will be there to coordinate, to support, help, guide, and bring out some outcomes from out of this particular symposium, right? So thank you very much. Let us form into teams, and each team will have a faculty, 1 or 2 faculty, a group of students, and 1 or 2 alumni, and other people also can join, because this is a particular where there is no limit for the stakeholders. Every one of us are the stakeholders, because ultimately the society is going to benefit out of it. Thank you very much.
Are the directors of RDT and personal officials for Atal Incubation Center. Already you have been entitled and the framework has been set. But Madam has addressed and has communicated after taking statistics from the Anantapur district and Sansai district as well in combined. The outcome, whatever you are going to give, also you should give some suggestions in your framework. Because if in government polytechnic, if you see, there are 1266 boys and 550 girls, where at least 1/3 component is being fulfilled. But when it comes to the number of institutes, I don't want to name the institutes, but one institute has 270 boys, 72 girls. And another institute got 1101 boys, 0 girls. There are 3 institutes with 0 girls. Principals are here. You know pretty well which institutes are there. Suppose say 118, but girls 0. 97 total boys, girls 0. But one institute has 557 boys and 205 girls. That is a private college, PVU. Ultimately, in the new formed district, there are 3,309 boys, 1,000 girls. So it makes only 25%, whereas government has given 1/3. We expect more than that. What madam? So what should be done out of this workshop? That more girls to apply for policy, that is to opt for technical education, and what way it will help, and what way we should approach them through this workshop outcomes. These 3 points we should keep in consideration. If you take Sansai district also, the strength is only in women polytechnic is there 329. Rest of the colleges, if you add up, it is not even less than 150. So the outcome of this workshop should not only benefit the rural transformation, the number of girls applying this year for polytechnic and taking admissions in the polytechnic should also. That's why we have also invited some girls who were from rural background, now studied diploma and employed in Sachivalayams or other where they are rendering services in rural centralization. So this is madam what she has expected. So in the minutes, last 4 points should be made that now present scenario and post scenario and what should be the action of plan for this 1 month, so that maximum girls take initiative towards the technical, because generally they will go for science and arts and all those things. At the 10th class level, they should go towards the technical education, that is polytechnic education. Thank you so much. This only point should be added.
That's a very important point, sir. All these suggestions, whatever we make, it should be revolving around the woman empowerment. How we can bring in. We have to make it fancy for the women students to join the polytechnic, right? So for that entry level, pursuing level and exit level, what we should be doing?
సరే ఇప్పుడు జస్ట్ ఒక 10 మినిట్స్ టీ బ్రేక్ తీసుకున్నాము 15 మినిట్స్ ఓకే గ్రూప్ చేయండి సార్ మీరు గ్రూప్ చేసిన తర్వాత
Group list is already there, sir. Group ఉంది తయారు చేశారంట. So during the snacks time, groups will be arranged by the time. And I think groups they have already team. Sir, మీరు ఎవరైనా వచ్చి అనౌన్స్ చేయండి ఆ గ్రూప్ టీమ్ ను. So each group. Right, sir. మీరు
టీ బ్రేక్ మనకు క్యాంటీన్ అందరూ కూడా ఈ బిస్కెట్స్ ఉంది అందరూ కూడా వెళ్ళి టీ బిస్కెట్స్ తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఎవరైనా రెస్ట్ రూమ్స్ పోవాలంటే క్యాంటీన్ బ్యాక్ సైడ్ రెస్ట్ రూమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి పోయి రావచ్చు. తర్వాత ఇక్కడ 4 గ్రూప్స్ గా ఉన్నాయి, అంత లోపల గ్రూప్స్ అంతా కూడా రెడీ చేసుకుంటారు. 4 గ్రూప్స్ గా రెడీ అయితే సార్ వాళ్ళు ఇంక్యుబేషన్ సెంటర్ నుండి వాళ్ళు కోఆర్డినేట్ చేస్తూ ఏదైతే అవుట్కమ్ కావాలనుకుంటున్నామో దానిపై పనిచేయచ్చు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.